Hi everyone, my name is Margaret Minnick and I'm from Friends of Cape Falcon Marine Reserve, and I'm going to take you on a dive into Oregon's amazing ocean. Many people love Oregon's coastline. It has beautiful beaches and dramatic rocky shores, as you can see in this picture. But until recently, this was our view. We didn't really know much about what was underneath the waves. But then research started being done to plan and manage Oregon's 5 marine reserves, and that research has been changing that view. So in the past 2 decades, we've gotten a new look at what's in the ocean. But first, did you know that Oregon has its own ocean? It's called the Territorial Sea, and it extends 3 miles out from shore. This is where Oregon has jurisdiction over the seabed and its resources. And I'm told that the reason that this distance is 3 miles is because this is how far a cannon can shoot a cannonball out into the ocean. So this rule started back in history when cannons were the main form of defense and threats tended to come from the ocean or the sea. So getting back to marine reserves, there are 5 marine reserve sites in the Territorial Sea. These are areas where all removal of marine life is prohibited, as is ocean development. But now let's see what lives underneath. Well, you won't be surprised to hear that there are fish in the ocean. Researchers have found that black rockfish are the most abundant fish at Cape Falcon Marine Reserve. This is a photo of black rockfish. There are many species of rockfish though, and they are common off of Oregon's coast. They are pretty interesting fish. They live to be very old, so 80 to 100 years old. And the old female fish are really important for these species because unlike humans, they keep right on having babies for their whole lives. And the older they get, the more babies they have. So the old female fish are really important for maintaining healthy populations of rockfish. Next up, here's a video of fish found in Oregon's marine reserves. So that one with the yellow spots is a China rockfish. Here's another black rockfish. There's a China rockfish near the top of the screen. And that long guy, I'm pretty sure that's a lingcod. And these pretty light orange fish are canary rockfish. Invertebrates. Invertebrates are animals without backbones. So examples of ocean invertebrates that you might be familiar with include sea anemones. You see those when tide pooling often. Also crabs and other animals like that. So this photo is of white-plumed anemones, which are the most abundant invertebrate animal at Cape Falcon Marine Reserve. They can clone themselves. And this is where they break off small fragments of their foot, which develop into new tiny anemones, all the same color and genetically identical. And if you're wondering what their foot is, it's just the part that attaches to the rock there. So there are sea stars. This one, I'm pretty sure, is a rainbow star, and they eat a particular kind of clam. There are also some sea urchins below the sea star in this picture. So sea stars and sea urchins are actually related. They both have a 5-part radial symmetry like a pentagon, although it's easier to see in the sea star than it is in the sea urchin, which basically just looks like a ball of spikes, more or less. So like sea stars, sea urchins have their mouth on the bottom of their body, and they eat brown and red algae. The red sea urchins especially like to eat giant kelp. All urchins are also related to sea cucumbers and sand dollars. So there are Dungeness crabs, often in the sandier areas as seen in this video. So Dungeness crabs are voracious and opportunistic carnivores, which means that they eat a lot of different animals and kind of whatever they can find. They generally prefer to eat on small clams and abalones though. And here's the biggest and most intelligent invertebrate, the giant Pacific octopus. Do you see him on the left there? Recent studies have actually shown that the giant Pacific octopus can use simple tools, identify individuals, they can navigate mazes, and access long-term and short-term memories. You may have seen articles about octopuses escaping from aquariums, which occasionally happens because they are quite smart. There are also marine mammals like this harbor seal seen here cruising through the kelp at Otter Rock Marine Reserve. They propel themselves with side-to-side motions of their rear flippers, and then they steer with their front flippers. They're very good swimmers. But they are shy when they're on land, and they are easily frightened into the water when a human appears. So it's really important for us to avoid disturbing them when they're resting on land, especially during the spring pupping season. There are also sea lions, gray whales, humpback whales, and other marine mammals in Oregon's ocean, including orcas. That's right, sometimes we do see orca if we're lucky. This is a great shot of an orca seen off of Cascade Head, which is just north of Lincoln City. Lastly, there are also seabirds, including common murres, cormorants, guillemots, marbled murrelets, tufted puffins, and more. There's really a lot for the bird watchers. And these seabirds, they get their food from the sea. Here's a marbled murrelet taking off from the water. And here's something you might not see very often. Yeah, it's a seabird swimming through the water. So this is how these species of seabirds catch and hunt their food. Let's watch that again. They are usually better swimmers than they are flyers. And I think that this bird is a common murre in non-breeding plumage maybe. And those animals can dive up to 200 feet deep, and they can hold their breath for about 2 minutes. And all seabirds have similar amazing skills so that they can dive and swim underwater and catch fish. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked these photos and videos, please follow our Facebook and Instagram, and I'll be posting more in the weeks to come. And if you'd like to see how these are taken, you can check out my next video that is coming soon. You can also take a look at the Oregon Marine Reserves website. That's at oregonmarinereserves.com for a lot more information. Here's my contact info. If you'd like to get involved or learn more about Friends of Cape Falcon Marine Reserve, please contact me. Our mission is to increase awareness and understanding of Cape Falcon Marine Reserve, and we do that through nature walks, hikes, community science projects, presentations like this, and more. Thank you so much.